Hello! This tutorial is again for beginners. This is going to be about your very basic first isolation off body. So what we're going to do is use our grip that we learned in the last video, where it's like this, very, very important. And we're going to be talking about the hoop rolling over the back of your hand like this as well, and actually that's the little secret to isolations. So this is what an isolation looks like. I'll demonstrate, then I'll break down and explain. So this is what we're aiming for. So you're looking for something like this. Get it all in there. So the hoop is staying in the same space and you're moving it around, and then you can keep the hoop very still and choose to move your whole self. So that's a very basic isolation. So we start off with this grip, and we're not spinning the hoop like this. That's open palm, round and round. We're keeping it in the same space. We're isolating this space in the middle of the hoop. So what you're going to do, you might find it a bit trickier with your big heavy hoop, but I promise you if you start with your big heavy hoop it will be easier. It'll help build up your arm muscles. This is the one that really gets your biceps going. So you want your hoop and your grip, you want your arm 90 degrees, and you can either start at the top with your isolation, or you can start at the bottom, whichever's easier for you. So you can start at the bottom and go up like that, either way as well. Or you can start at the top and do it. So whichever way sort of works for you. But how to do an isolation is you're going to keep it in exactly the same space. So to begin with, you might want to help you might want a guiding hand. Bring that out in front of you and just very loosely like this, grip the hoop so you can move the hoop around in your grip. So if you keep one hand like that, you're going to practice for now doing that, to keep the hoop up and keep it in one space. But the key point is, so I'm holding it palm down, right in the centre, and if I just go like that, it's going to go all over the place. So I've got to keep my arm nice and locked, nice and straight. It's down at 6 o'clock. I'm going to push the hoop, it's a pushing motion, up to 9. Bring it up to 12, and then that's when it starts to get a bit uncomfortable and I have to change my grip to carry on. So what you're going to do, so we're starting at 6, 9, 12. When it gets to 12, that's when I do my little hand swap and I can carry on. So the hand swap, it's not really a swap. It's when you're doing an isolation, your hoop does that. That's the bit you're covering up. You're doing it so fast people don't realise you're actually doing that. When you get that really slow, the hoop is just rolling on the back of my hand, back into my palm, and I can continue to push the hoop down. It is a pushing motion. So let's try it the other way. Let's start at the top, thumb out this way, and I'm going to lead with the heel of my hand and push the hoop down. When it gets to, I can go to about 3 o'clock there, that's when I'm going to swap and then carry on. So really fast, like that. And you can go and do it the other way as well. So practice again, practice with both hands, both arms. You'll find out which one you're better with. And if you're really struggling, you can do 2 hands. You can bring it, I'm now going to explain that, your other hand can help you. So you're doing an isolation, and you can also do it like this. So you're doing your isolation, but when it comes to doing the swap you don't need to. You're going to put your other hand there and then shift the weight and carry it around with that hand. So one hand up and over, and the other one comes in. And when you speed that up, like hand, 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 but you just keep them together, really close together, and nobody really notices what your hands are doing because they're too busy looking at the hoop in place. And that's the key to isolations, is just sort of pushing the weight of the hoop, following that around. Very, very helpful to do that if you've got your shadow to look at, a mirror, or even your window. So that's your very basic off-body isolation. So have fun practicing that.